What's up, folks? Permanent Patriot here. Right now, over on FBI.gov in the gangs section. Never ceases to amaze me, watching shows like Gangland and shows like that let you into the world of all the drugs and violence and the way gangs make their livings and stuff. And most of it's just retarded. And when I was living in gang areas, I always minded my P's and Q's. If I follow the gangs around were wearing blue or red or gold or green, I'd go outside wearing every single one of those colors. And people would like do a double take at me like, the fuck gang is that dude in? So you see, it's all mind games. And if you gotta claim a color, like you're in fucking arts and crafts in second grade, you own these colors, bro. It's a major adolescent thing to do. Now, I want you to take a look here. Anti-gang initiatives. The FBI is dedicated to disrupting and dismantling the most significant gangs through intelligence-driven investigations and initiatives and partnerships such as Safe Streets Task Force, National Gang Intelligence Center, Transnational Anti-Gang Task Forces. To help curb the growth of gangs and related criminal activity, the FBI, at the direction of Congress, established the National Gang Intelligence Center. One thing I don't think these gangs understand is the object of the game is to, number one, stay out of jail. Number two, don't do something stupid like go and get yourself killed for nothing. If you know anything about the mafia, you would know the object is to mind your own fucking business, stay under the radar, and try not to give any attention to yourself. Now, you might say, well, the mafia is the ones that started all the RICO cases and stuff. This is true, but only because people who were too high on themselves went against the old timers' fucking rules and started selling drugs and killing people who didn't need to be killed. And so, I really don't understand still to this day how people could, even raising their kids into gangs and stuff. But you know what I would call it? I would call it domestic terrorism. You're doing that in your own neighborhood. Again, the idea is to make your neighborhood safe, keep your neighborhood clean, not fucking tag the shit out of it, throw trash everywhere, rob your own stores, and make the police double in fucking size in your neighborhood. You gotta be fucking retarded. And I can understand where the mentality comes from when, you got a daddy who just did 30 fucking years in jail for like 5 murders or some shit, just getting out of jail, and that's how he's gonna raise his kids now. Because once you do time like that, you don't grow up. You're institutionalized. You know, the Asian boys is a great example. Here's a gang that when they first started out, they went to school. They had very good jobs. They had influential parents. But once the sun went down, motherfuckers came out and they didn't play around. They did not sell drugs. They didn't hit anybody that didn't need to be hit. And nowadays, it's the complete opposite. And look at them now. They're all falling left and right. So if you think that you know how to run a gang, especially some of these gangs with fucking 14-year-olds in charge of them, you know there's only two places you're going. I don't even have to tell you what they are. You're acting like little fucking kids, throwing up gang signs and wearing certain colors. You ever seen, John Gotti or any of them people throwing up fucking signs, wearing certain colors? Those are gangsters. You guys are gangstas. There's a huge difference there. These people are making millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. If you think you're making fucking money, you ain't shit. Now, you look into some of these RICO cases they got, and number one, let's get this straight. There's no way in fucking hell, I don't care how many people you got, you're not beating the government. That's why they got Homeland Security now. You're just not beating them. There's no way to. Unless you have a collective of people, not just a one gang, but of people, American citizens, who will overthrow the fucking government, then you got a gang. It's called We the People. And nobody's fucking with that gang. And again, another color I love to wear is my yellow. Because like Bruce Lee says, yellow's the neutral color. I have no affiliation with nobody. I'm my own person. You might want to go and watch some old Bruce Lee movies and see how gangs really work. Because let's face it, you're really not that tough without a gun or without your homies. And, hide your face. It's just the way it is. Over here on streetgangs.com, this is a good one. Few gang members are undocumented immigrants. Federal data shows that only 0.09% of illegal immigrant detainees come from Central American gangs. I wouldn't believe any kind of numbers that come out of the government. Number one. And you just go through some of these, especially the politics ones. Or, you might want to take a look at other cities and prison gangs. Okay, if they're not immigrants, then why do you got the shit in prison? Why do they have segregation in prison? It ain't to fucking keep the peace. And let's really face it. Who really runs the fucking prison again? Because in order to get your fucking drugs into jail, in order to get your weapons in jail and keep them, you would have to have corrupt corrections officers. You got a handful of corrections officers holding down thousands of fucking prisoners. And even with all the fucking doors open, most people still won't do anything. You know why? Because they know as soon as they hit one of those fucking COs, there's a whole nother fucking, from outside the prison, there's a whole fucking laundry list of SWAT teams and police departments and government agencies coming to fucking draw some blood them damn selves. So I think people know what's what. They're just really full of themselves and just can't face the fact that they have no life. So I think you people need to do some serious searching and mostly some soul searching. And well, here's a good one. For example, Jerry Brown, governor of California, is letting out the non-violent criminals. Well, what exactly is considered non-violent? Misdemeanors, felonies, or just people who never used a weapon? This guy used his hands to kill somebody, or a bunch of guys gang raped a little girl. Non-violent. You can let them guys go. And how about the people that get deported and shit? They come right back in. No big deal. That's what happens when you have open borders, thanks to President Obama. Which, if you guys knew how the government worked, how the government really worked, probably wouldn't be in this fucking mess to begin with. Because every single one of us on this fucking planet, especially in this country, should be living like kings right now. Working 2 days a week and each of us owning our own damn castle. Instead, these assholes send Israel $500 billion for nothing to wage war against other countries that we have no business dealing with. Why not give $100 billion to each one of the fucking citizens in this country? And then see how powerful this fucking country can become. And so ask yourselves why they're not doing that. I can go a lot further into this, and I'm sure I will be. This is only like part 3, since I started doing these gang videos. But I'm going to keep them coming. And, wanted to remind everybody that, because this is a way that gangs are making most of their money nowadays, trying to stay quiet. Cybercrime. Computer network intrusions. So, all you identity thieves out there and hackers, unethical hackers, because there's a huge difference between hacking and unethical hacking. Just remember who the fuck you're dealing with. Because it ain't some fucking little street gang on the fucking corner or in the next neighborhood. FYI, hacking is a federal crime. 20 years. See you later, buddy. And identity theft is more than that. Especially if it's over a state line. If you're in California, you're hacking somebody in New York or taking their identity, up the river, pal. So best thing to do is just get a fucking life instead of taking other people's. Find something you're passionate at. Because I'm sure killing people and stealing from hard-working, honest citizens really isn't one of them. Because if you really want it, you could have it. That's all I got to say for now. God bless and carry on.